Welcome back to the channel. This is FR UK Rugby. I'm Tim and I am with Joe Worsley, and we are going to decide on who are the Galacticos of French rugby, because this is the league, the top 14, where the biggest names on planet Earth play. This is their home. And well, just look around the world. You've got guys like Jack Willis, Niniashvili for Georgia. You've got Capozzo from Italy. Farrell and Laws have now moved to France. Finn Russell was there not so long ago. Blair Kinghorn is there now. Lavani Bottia. Whatever country it is on earth, some of their best talent comes to France. And so we're going to decide who are the best of all, who are the Galacticos. And by Galactico, we mean world famous in the rugby universe, but famous beyond rugby, and have competed for and won major titles. How you doing there, Joe?
I'm good. It's an interesting description, isn't it? Who in France would make our top five? It's going to be an interesting discussion.
Just in terms of, firstly, where are you, Joe?
I'm in a place called Cap Ferret. It's near Bordeaux on the coast. It's a week off. I've come out here to eat and lie down on the beach.
Well, I'm just thinking in terms of Galacticos in rugby, there was a whole team full of them that played in the top 14 a few years back at Toulon. Your memories of that team with, who was it? Let's go through some of the names. Bakis Boto and Johnny Wilkinson and Carl Heyman.
Carl Heyman, Sheridan.
Habana.
That's the front row. Their front row was phenomenal. Second row, Bakis Boto. You had
Danny Russo.
Danny Russo. Two big lumps of beef there. The Kiwi as well. The second row was there as well for a while. Ali Williams. Williams, yeah. So that's pretty talented already as the front five.
Dan Carter's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Drew Mitchell, Matt Gitto. Just crazy names. And where the phrase Galactico came from was that Real Madrid team that had Figo and Zidane and Beckham and Roberto Carlos and Ronaldo, the fat Ronaldo, not Portuguese Ronaldo, Raul and Michael Owen. So, I just think this is a really interesting discussion to get into. So the way I'm going to work this, Joe, is you are going to make the decision. You're going to rank your top 5 Galacticos in French rugby, and I'm just going to be here to challenge you on it and maybe put some names in that you haven't thought of. Yeah.
All right, okay. I think going back, that Toulon team were Bougerel, the president then. He wasn't actually that wealthy a man. He managed to copy that Galactico idea. It was his kind of inspiration, was that Real Madrid side, and he got sponsors on board and it started the ball rolling, and really, because it took off and he had some success, he just rode that wave to doubles and European glory. It's a pretty incredible job the man did, because the team before he took over was in Pro D2 and not doing too well, and he came up with this Galacticos philosophy which worked a treat.
And there was everything around it as well. The Pilu guy, the newspapers being torn up and thrown in the air when they won. It was just it was an awesome time. How close is Toulon to that now, in terms of a spectacle on a match day?
It's mental. We have to go down there. I can't wait. We'll go and talk to fans. They're off the hook crazy. Their motto is always different down here, and it's just different. They're just crazy. Crazy locals. They're really into their rugby. They're so passionate about it. But they're very different to your Frenchman who lives in Bordeaux, your Frenchman lives in Paris. They're radically different guys.
Right, come on then. Let's start with this discussion. Do I need to ask who the number one?
No, I mean, let's get through it quickly. Dupont, we all know, dude's amazing. He's incredible. France team, sevens. If he wins a gold medal, it's going to be even more famous. Endorsements coming out of his neck. Everyone in every country, even if you don't know rugby, they'll know Dupont. The man is incredible. So, do we need to talk about him any more than that? Because you can't really argue much here.
Yeah, just to underline that, 4 top 14 titles. What is he, 27 now? 4 top 14 titles, 2 Champions Cups to his name. He's got a Grand Slam. He's been the World Player of the Year. 3 times he's been Six Nations Player of the Tournament. We'll see how he gets on in the Olympics as we record this. Like you say, the guy's a freak. He's appeared in a like, I think it was some sort of fur coat on the front of Vogue as well. So, there's nothing that guy can't do.
No, he's amazing. Even sponsored by two car companies, our friend tells us. So We don't know how that works.
Two
He's that
competing
famous,
car
he
companies.
can
That's how
carry
good
two.
he is. Peugeot and Volvo are happy to be bedfellows for Antoine Dupont. Something else. What does he need to do to be considered the greatest ever? Because we've established he's the biggest name in the sport, and certainly
you
the
could
top
say
14.
you got that messy question, haven't you? Until he actually wins a World Cup, is he ever going to be the greatest? And I think Messi winning that World Cup, certainly the soccer world probably really answered that question. So I think Dupont needs to do that.
All right, Dupont is our number one. If you've got any thoughts on this, by the way, I mean, I can't imagine you're watching and disagreeing at this point, but if you do, the comments down below, let us know. And there may well be names in this conversation that we forget, and the comments for that as well, because I'm going to push you to number 2 now, Joe. Who's the next biggest?
Yeah, this one's a little bit more controversial. Natamak, son of Emil. Roman is an incredible player. I think his global brand's probably not as big as it would have been had he played in the World Cup. And if he had have played, I'd imagine France, in all certainty, would have won. He's an incredible player. Again, similar number of, probably more championships than Dupont already. I'm not sure, probably same. So he's incredibly successful. He's a good-looking guy, articulate. Again, sponsorships coming from left, right, and centre. In France, he is a huge celebrity. Because of the World Cup and him being injured before it, that was his moment, I think, to explode globally. So you could maybe argue that globally there are other players who are more famous than him. It's just he is a fantastic player. I had to put him at number 2 because he's just so good. He's so good. France really missed him. When he's not playing for Toulouse, they're not quite the same team. He's a competitor.
You know what,
he's
Joe,
incredibly skillful. So much time for him.
Just to back that up, when I was at the Rugby World Cup and he was injured, like you say, every time the camera cut to him and he went on the big screen, the noise from the crowd was unreal. And the only person who got bigger cheers when he plays, it's interesting when you sort of hear the match announcer go through a team. When you watch France play, Dupont gets the biggest cheer, and you're right, Ntamak, the cheer he gets from the crowd is insane.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's just so popular here. So I don't think, again, him, it's just that global fame. Will someone in Argentina know him as well as someone like number 3 when we get on to him?
You're just in your French bubble down there, Joe. That's what's going on here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It could be I'm a bit absorbed by what's happening here, but he's just such an incredible player. I had to put him in.
Okay. All right. Well, Roman Ntamak is number 2. If you disagree with Joe, get stuck in the comments down below. Is there a better halfback pairing in club rugby anywhere?
I don't think there is, and I'm not sure there ever has been. 2 world-class players playing at the same club for so long. I'm trying to think of a comparison here. It's quite difficult.
I'm trying to think who Dan Carter's halfback partner was at the Crusaders back in the day.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all.
Yeah, that's a big statement, that, Joe. But you might.
Yeah,
be
definitely.
Something there.
Willie Hines.
It was Willie Hines.
Yes, that was it. It came to memory now. Yeah, I can't remember who it was actually.
Well,
yeah, who else?
And halfback pairing in international rugby, like Aaron Smith and Dan Carter, might be.
I think that combo was pretty amazing, successful, winning lots of competitions.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty up there with Natamak and Dupont in terms of ability.
Big statement there. Biggest halfback pairing ever in club rugby. Your thoughts on that one? I thought maybe Sir Kisi might have been mentioned for the reasons that you mentioned, that his global brand is so big.
Yeah, he's number 3. He's number 3 for me because, globally, the context of how he's brought up, the context of his life in South Africa, what he brought to that team, the ability to bring a team together and unite them in such a way, obviously with the support of their management team, to unite them in a way that's led them to winning back-to-back World Cups. That alone is an incredible achievement. So that side of things, I think he probably wipes the floor with most people. So globally, he's famous as a result of this incredible story. Just as a rugby player and as a rugby player in France in the top 14, he's not hit his straps as much as maybe he could have done in his first year. We'll have to wait and see how he could do in the second. And as a rugby player, I just think some of those guys ahead of him are just that little bit better as rugby players.
How much do you think the aura and the character of the man coming into a new club would or could have an influence on Racing? Do you think it would be that? I don't know. I don't know what French players are like. Would they be starstruck a little bit, or
Yeah,
feel
definitely.
grateful to be in the same room as him?
I've read a couple of articles from some of the younger players just talking about him as soon as he came in the change room, saying straight away they found kind of a father figure, older brother that they could learn off and use as a someone to guide them through their development. So certainly he's gone in there and taken that on. I'd imagine him not knowing French is going to hinder that somewhat, for sure.
And with South Africa, there was this sense of, well, not even a sense. They speak about it openly about playing for a higher purpose. Is that something is that a well that French club players or even international players can go to, or are they just kind of?
No, I think with any club team, it's more about the character of the club joined with the player group and management team that are there at the time. And at Racing, it's an interesting time with Stu going in, and Kisi would be one of the guys he'd want to change the way they think about working hard and character changing abilities that he would have. He needs that. And Faz, one of the reasons they signed him, we did the same thing. So Kisi, hopefully, I'd imagine he would have had a big impact on the players' ability to work hard. But now he knows the culture after 1 year. I imagine he's picked up a bit of French. I'm sure he'll find that easier and easier to enable him to affect people on the pitch so they're more motivated and better players working harder day in, day out.
All right, so we've got 1, 2, and 3, 2 more spots left. There's a lot of big names. I don't know whether Owen Farrell, his teammate, would be one of them, but there's others. What are you thinking?
I know. I went for Faz at 4 because, again, he is globally so famous. He's an incredible player and he's an incredible competitor. So what he brings to an environment is amazing. People don't see it. It's not as tangible as the amazing stuff he does on the pitch that you actually see. He's also just an incredible leader. So off the pitch, he'll drag everyone up with him. He'll insist on certain things happening. At Saracens, he was pretty much one of the staff for many years. A very important influence there. Be interested to see what happens there. Now he's gone. But when he goes into Racing, part of his job be rugby and fitting in. But he's already gone. He's been with the guys who've been injured who came back early to train in the first week. He was there with them already, working hard, meeting people. So I think he's gone in the door off the bat with his high work ethic, and he's going to be showing everyone that. And Johnny Wilkinson-esque, maybe they'll follow him like Toulon.
I just want to hear him speaking French with a northern accent. I'm here for that.
Yeah, he could. That would be good. Sean, he could be better than Sean Edwards, I'm sure. his accent's belting.
Do you think he's going to be revered by French fans of, like, even opposition clubs or Racing clubs? Because I never feel like for the player he was that he was given the credit he was due. 6 Premiership titles, 3 Champions Cup titles. He's been a World Player of the Year nominee. He's won European Player of the Year, Grand Slams, World Cup finals, 3 Lions tours. His CV is off the charts.
It's pretty incredible. Yeah, you're right. I think certain people, like, media-wise, he's not into that. So there's not that glossy media image he can give out, which in this day and age a lot of people love. But yeah, with the CV he's got, and he's just an incredible competitor. Yeah, the reason he got so much grief is hard to understand. But I'm not sure he cares about that. He'll go into France, and if he does manage to drag up Racing, be part of the reason that Racing becomes a team that wins the top 14, I'm sure the people there will be as passionate about him as the people in Toulon were about Johnny.
It would be a great story if we could see echoes of Johnny Wilkinson at Toulon with Owen Farrell in Paris.
Yeah, it's a different. We talked already about Toulon, the different nature of the people that are into rugby down there. Racing traditionally has been followed by probably a little bit more affluent part of the Parisian society, but even they, I'm sure, if they bring success, those guys will be as passionate as the Toulonnais were about Johnny.
All right, we've got 2 Frenchmen, Antoine Dupont. We've got 2 foreign imports and current and former captains of their country, Sia Kisi and Owen Farrell. One more spot left. I don't know what you're going to do here, Joe, because let me just chuck some names at you. Manu Tuilagi's going to France, or gone. Damien Penaud's been a superstar, arguably, along with, say, Cheslin Colby, best winger in the world for a few years now. But you've got beasts like Emmanuel Meafu. You've got absolute weapons like Lavani Bottia. Who's going to get the last spot?
This last spot was probably the hardest one to pick. There's so many. I've actually, the names you mentioned already, I'm going to have to say that it's Penaud, because he's globally famous. He scored loads of tries. He's a big influence on the teams he's played for here. He's a big influence on the French team. But that global fame is the thing that swung it. Meafu, for me, is an incredible player. He will be hands down a Galactico in a couple of years' time. He's going to be playing for France year in, year out. He's going to be playing for Toulouse, winning more trophies, I'm sure. And he's a player which is really going to carry this French team forward. He's the kind of player, again, they really need in their squad. A powerful, ball-carrying, mauling, scrummaging monster who's got incredible skills. So he's an incredible beast. Not many people like that in world rugby. So he will be a Galactico hands down. I mean, Botti has done incredible things over the years. Just his ball stealing. I remember watching him when he was a centre. He came over as a medical joker on loan, basically. And he was a little bit slighter than he is now, but I was watching him with another coach at Bordeaux, and we were just saying, who is this guy? In one game, he stole seven steals in one game. And from then on, he's gone on to hassle a number of teams. Manu, again, incredible. The injury side of things, we could say held him back, but what a specimen. It'd be interesting to see how he does at Bayonne. But yeah, Penaud's going to be the man. He's just the impact he had at Bordeaux this year and how he's played for the French team. Globally, we all know him. Yeah, it's got to be him.
Just one question on Penaud I've got is, like, you've coached at Bordeaux, you understand that club. How big of a move was that when he went from, the great Clermont-Auvergne, his club to
was
Bordeaux?
huge, because he was formed there. He went through their youth system pretty much, and he was really embedded in what Clermont was and the kind of way Clermont wanted to play. They've been bad for a couple of years. They signed Urios, is not really a kind of guy who plays the style that historically Clermont was associated with. So he decided to leave and go to Bordeaux, who were certainly going to play that way. And it fitted in with what he did. So I think he did have some second thoughts, and he verbalized them in the media shortly after it happened. But I think whatever, now he's happy as Larry. I think he's enjoying his time in Bordeaux.
I don't think there's any other league that could have 5 names like that. There'd be some great ones in the URC, amazing players in the Premiership, but Antoine Dupont, Romain Ntamak, Sia Kisi, Owen Farrell, Damien Penaud. That is why this league is box office. That's pretty special.
Yeah. I mean, the word for the evening in French is bave, which means drooling or dribbling. When you think of those players, that's what I'm thinking now, bave.
Bave. On that, I think we'll leave it. Obviously, your comments down below. If there's any players that haven't mentioned, should have mentioned, you've got an issue with the order, get stuck in down below. Hit subscribe on the channel, because we'll be back for more in these few weeks as we build up to the season. Videos will be coming thick and fast. So thumbs up on the video. That helps spread the word. Hit subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.